Hello and welcome to another video. This is Nico from Finn of Discs, and today I will open the lid or show what's behind the curtains of making a YouTube video. Let's get into it, the video I mean. So I decided not to make the Q&A video yet because I want more questions. So I have plenty nice questions already in my previous video, so if you want to add questions or if you want to comment on the questions, then please go back to that video, like the already commented questions, or you can leave comments down below on this video as well. I will also set up vote by liking type voting on the different ideas that I have for the channel and the videos, but I will describe that in more detail at the end of this video. So in this video I wanted to show you guys what goes into making one of these YouTube videos. Obviously there are people out there, one of you or some of you, who have experience in creating videos for Instagram, for example, or for YouTube, or have occupational experience from the topic. So you have some knowledge of what happens behind the scenes, maybe not to that, or maybe a more professional experience on it than I have. But I wanted to especially let the guys who don't have any idea what happens behind the scenes know about it, and sort of see what kind of steps I do and take when I make these videos. So I want to add a couple disclaimers though, so I'm not complaining by any means during this video about the process or sort of being like, oh, it's so hard. No, that's not my point. The point is to just open up a little bit what goes into it and why I, with my normal life routines and work, sometimes do miss my schedule a little bit. The schedule I have provided to myself, so I have nobody else to blame for it, but that's my goal here. Another disclaimer, this is not by any means a professional tutorial, so I'm not a pro at it. I'm learning every time I make a new video. Every time I figure out something new, something else goes wrong, and I learn from that again. So please remind yourself that there are more effective ways of doing this, probably that I'm doing this in, but that's how it goes. But this is just my journey and this is what I'm taking you on board on. But let's get into the topic of the video. So let's start with the equipment. So obviously I need something to film my stuff with and other related equipment. So you can see my camera and light setup over here. So a basic pocket camera, it's a decent pocket camera, so I actually bought it at the start of the year, so it provides quite good quality and I don't have to use my phone for it. And also I have this light behind the camera that blinds me all the time, but also gives some sort of life to the atmosphere here, especially when I'm doing this inside. Then I have a wireless microphone. You can see the microphone here. It's wireless, but you notice that there's a wire, but it only goes to here. So this sends the stuff to that on top of the camera, and that's how we get sound. I'm also not perfect at using that yet. So the couple videos I've done outside, the first video I had the microphone on. I ended up shouting into the microphone because that's what you do when you're outside and when the camera is away from you, and it ended up cutting the audio and creating a little bit of issues when editing, but that's fine, that's how you learn. But I didn't take that opportunity very well because the next time I went outside I forgot the microphone. so then I just was vulnerable to all the wind noise that you might have noticed in that video when I was throwing the mid-ranges around. But then when planning the video, I could be a lot more strategic about my planning of the videos. I could write a very detailed script about what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. I have usually a fairly good idea on what I want the video to contain, what kind of events you would say, or what kind of topics. I usually, when I'm talking inside, I usually write something like this, a one-pager of different topics, bullet points that I want to catch, and then whether I catch them or not depends on my memory and how many times I'm willing to take the take that ends up on the video. So believe it or not, these are not all first takes. put more on a it comes with, but that's how it usually goes. And then when I'm outside, I just do things. I'm probably going to get better at that as well, because I have only gone there a couple times. So that's something that I obviously need to build more experience on, and how to manage that process of creating the video. But anyway, into the editing of the video, when I've actually taken it or filmed it, the editing is where the time most goes into. So whenever I have any sounds like a ding, example like this, or like this, or any video inside of a video, like for example this, or a picture that you've maybe seen, or a text that you've maybe seen before, like these, those are all different elements that I need to obviously add into the video, and that will affect the time that goes into it. So the more I do it, the more I get effective about it. But just to let you know what it looks like on my laptop when I do create those videos, funnily enough, the mid-range throwing video was probably the heaviest to edit, because of the different elements I added to it. So let's just get into it. So what does it look like on my laptop? Well, it looks like this. So you can see here that all the different elements, these different colors of videos are different different constant takes that obviously then I take some part of the video, then I cut it, then I do some other part of the video. Those are the different colors you see here. But all of the different cuts here are things where I've removed some excess stuff, where I'm not talking, or there's nothing pointless, or there's only pointless stuff. So when there's nothing meaningful there, so I will cut it. I also need to cut it for different effects every time. Again, I emphasize, I'm not a professional in using this tool. This is Lightworks. This is what I started to use when I started, so I've just continued with that and getting more comfortable with that. So you have different video stripes here, or tracks, stripes, very professional, tracks, and then you have different audio tracks, so all different music, all different noises, all of those things are their own separate little item. We have the different clips over here that are related to this. Then I can edit the audio. You cannot see it very clearly, but there are different levels on the audio tracks depending on where I want the sound to go down, and music to appear, or the music to go down, or whatever I need to do with the audio. And the main part here is the visual effects. For example, if we go here, you can see that there's multiple, well, you can't really see it, but there are multiple different tracks here. Here you can see it better. There's the music track here, and then there's a couple of sound effects, or a sound effect going along with the green item here, which is the green mark you see in the video. All of these different items here on the screen, different texts, different icons, pictures, everything is then sort of down here. So if there's any color corrections, for example, if there's any black and white pictures, or any zooming, as was on this video multiple times when the disc was thrown, all of that I manually do in there. So that's the sort of gist of it. There's a lot of different items, but it's also a lot of fun to get to learn a bit more how to do it, and get better at it, and learn different things that I can do with the program. There are probably better programs as well, but this is what I'm using now, and this is sort of getting the job done. Then obviously this thing that I'm doing with the screen recording, I have a program for that called OBS. Also, oh no, it was the second program I tried for this purpose, and that ended up being quite a good program for it, at least for my standards. But that's the video, no need to go into more details on that. You got the gist of it. But then the thumbnails, I do them in PowerPoint. That's just the most sort of a familiar platform for me because during my working life I've done a lot of PowerPoint presentations, so that's just where I'm comfortable working, and I also don't want to pay for a fancy picture editing thing where I can mostly do the things that I want to do here. So you can see I have the different thumbnails for the different videos, all here different kind of options for them, and all the little things I want to add here. So this is Indiana, there's the there's the crying eyes, different elements that I've added to different videos. These I was very proud of, these thumbnails. These are obviously all separate pictures over here that I then cut and made into them. So yeah, that's how I do that. I do some picture editing or sort of adding contrast, adding a bit of color or something on another program then, but this is mainly where the thumbnails are made. And then I just see what it looks like when it's really small, to see what it looks like on a person's phone, if it makes a difference or not. But yeah, that's that for that. But that's mainly the items that I use for making YouTube videos. I hope it was an interesting, to some extent, insight into what I do or what other people also, maybe there are better ways, I'm sure there are, but this is my way of doing these and this is how I've done them so far, getting better slowly but steadily. But that's pretty much it. Now for the voting. So as I mentioned in the previous video, I want to know what my audience wants to see. Obviously I do create the content I want to make, but I can prioritize it, all the things that I want to do based on what your feedback is. And I understand it's a little bit weird maybe to propose ideas straight from the emptiness or just proactively, as I asked in the previous video, so I'm going to make it easier for you now. So I will comment down below different ideas, different categories you could say for different videos, and you can vote by liking on the videos. You can obviously like multiple things if you like to see multiple kind of videos here, but I will say sort of course vlogs that I will be doing in the summer, whether you like it or not. I want to try making them. Disc reviews or disc tests or comparisons, one item. Some challenge videos, like for example Foundation Disc Golf has a lot of them. I like to watch them, at least myself. I haven't done any yet. Finnish disc golf specifics, what goes on in Finland disc golf wise, statistics comparisons from competitions or against different players or not, between different players, analyzing my form, what I don't like about it and what I want to make or improve in it. If I can, some interviews. I haven't done any yet because again, I'm a nobody at this point still in the disc golf media scene, or just videos or content about my life in general, how I not very intimate videos obviously, but some other content that might not be strictly disc golf related. So I will put those below and go vote, and then we'll know what happens. And also remember the questions for the Q&A as well. You can add them to the comments as well, and I will then just pick them out from there. But there are plenty in the previous video. You can also go vote by liking on them. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a nice one. See you next time. So long.